Well,
I'm down about 16. So
yeah, I'm following you. It's good, man.
yeah, you're good.
Happy Halloween!
I'll get back to you.
Dorothy certainly dressed for the occasion. You gonna close some big mortgages today? Everybody got the candy ready? I've been wearing my outfit all year long. We got a great day today. There's we got great presentations, some recognition for some of our members, a few surprises. Can't tell you about those. I'd have to shoot you if I did. But have a great meeting. Ross Geller, I believe, has our invocation pledge and Rotary moment.
I do. Quick announcement first. Dale, she's okay. Dale Melton's okay, but she was in a car accident just now in front of the hotel.
This morning?
Just now, yeah. I pulled in the parking lot and it happened. So the other lady appears to be hurt a little bit, but Dale seemed to be okay. Car was on fire,
But you escaped safe and sound.
yeah, but my shoes got fire extinguished. That's my
Small price to
service.
pay.
Anyway, I thought you all might want to know. Hopefully she'll be in here shortly. But please bow your head. Great God of the universe, provider of all good gifts and graces, we thank you for your many blessings, many of those we're not even aware of. We thank you this morning for everything we have that makes our lives wonderful, prosperity, our freedom. We especially want to thank you this morning for keeping Dale safe, for this opportunity to serve our fellow man through Rotary, and in thereby doing, serving you. We ask that you will be with Emily's mother, who is in the hospital in Virginia with pneumonia. We ask that you will continue to watch over her as she recovers. We ask that you will be with Emily and her family as they strengthen and support each other. We thank you for blessing us. We pray that you will bless this food. You will continue to bless us as individuals and our families. And above all else, Lord, we pray that your will be done. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Four-way test. For all we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
My Rotary moment actually came earlier this year. I was reading the Rotary magazine, and there was a letter from then Rotary International President Tanaka. I put a copy on your table. Some of you may have read it, some of you may not have, but one particular aspect of it struck me. The letter was started with Rotary International and the foundation, and how the foundation, no pun intended, is the foundation of Rotary and our service. He spoke to it in the context of the terrible earthquake that they had, and how that struck him from the standpoint of being a developed first world country, and then overnight, or actually in a matter of moments, thousands of people were dead, infrastructure was devastated, and suddenly his people were now in the same condition as the people that Rotary International typically serves. His message was that we're all the same. What struck me with such emphasis was many of us would consider Mr. Tanaka very different from ourselves. Different language, different culture, other side of the world. Not too many years ago, his country and our country were at war. But yet the sentiment and the language of that letter could have been written by anybody in this room. And that just emphasized to me his message that we are all actually the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Sergeant at Arms.
At the back of the church.
John. Come early and get a back row seat.
We have a Rotarian from Preston, Holly Shelton. We have several guests today. Eric White, Ben Bracken, Lindsay Burkhart, and Burton Bambala.
Thank you, John. Birthdays, anniversaries, Kevin.
We only have one birthday this week. That's for Mr. Danny Farley. Is that 16? 49.
49.
That'll be on the first.
My third 49.
Stay away from those birthdays with a 0 in them. Football pool, Dr. Walsh.
Yep, got football pool. Fun games coming up this weekend. Clash of the Trash is the tiebreaker. That's Carolina and State. One ACC win between them, okay? One, that's right. You're snickering at over there, Conrad. At any rate, this last week there were a few upsets, but only 3 people in the room, Hal, Steve, and Marley, picked Appalachian to finally win a game.
Yeah.
Some people that famously went to App didn't even pick their.
So when I pick them, they lose, so I went the other way.
You did it for the team. I know they appreciate that. A whole lot of people did really lousy, but Dale, bless her heart, ran away with the 0 award. Only got 8 out of 23, so there's a 0 bar waiting for her if she does make it. But hopefully that'll make her, at least feel a little better. I don't know. You're gonna be all right. Honorable mention. Ralph, Mike, Alan, both had 16. Hal and Danny, congratulations, Danny had 18. Danny won the tiebreaker, but Hal picked Dallas, and he's after him. But unfortunately, I guess we got to go with the numbers. So, Danny, congratulations, you got second. But in a runaway, with 19 out of 23 correct, and the winner of this fine shirt donated by Mike Conrad. Polo golf is really nice. In fact, I don't have one this color, I don't think. Anyway, Dennis Marcotte, congratulations. Great participation last week. Fill out the forms that are on the table. Let's get one from another table.
Thank you, Walt. Ross mentioned Emily, and some of you may have seen the email thread. I got an email late yesterday from Emily with an update on her mother. And Emily says she's hanging in there. The doctors say she's doing better than expected because her crisis situation yesterday, but she is upset that she doesn't feel better. That's a good sign. She didn't get off the ventilator today, unfortunately, but her oxygen and blood pressure are doing well, so we will hope for tomorrow. So that's from Emily. Remember her in our thoughts and prayers. Announcements. Buster.
Well,
Fundraising.
Emily asked me yesterday to sort of do a little pep thing for the fundraiser. And how many of y'all have sold one ticket for the fundraiser? Well, this, I was thinking about this. Okay, this is a sold out concert, right? This is sold out. We hold the only tickets that are left unsold. We have the best seats in the whole thing. These are the best seats for a sold out concert. The only reason you hadn't sold your tickets is because you hadn't asked somebody. Somehow you need to communicate to people that you have these tickets. And maybe your group of people don't like them, but they have kids who would like them. So all I want to say is you've got to ask people. People don't know that you have these tickets sitting in your desk drawer at work. You've got to tell them. And I guarantee if you went on StubHub this morning, these seats would be worth more than $100. So you just have to do it. No, right. Just sell your dang tickets.
Hal, what was it your dad told you when you were getting ready to make that phone call?
When I was getting ready to call that young lady, and I was nervous as a cat. There's only 2 things she's going to tell you, yes or no, neither one's going to kill you.
If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Always no.
All right, thank you, Buster.
Can-
Buster,
can-
is that a segue? Happy dollars.
And I promise you, somebody wants these tickets. somebody wants these tickets that you have, so make somebody happy today. What's got, Dr. Don?
Well, Dr. Walt reminded me of something that used to just wear me out. You know, our long lost David Pike and I were very close friends, and we, you know, when 10, 12 years ago the NASCAR races would be coming on and Jeff Gordon was really hot, every week he'd win the race pole, every week, because Jeff Gordon was winning, what, about every week? But I said one day, I said, David, I said, I didn't really realize you liked Jeff Gordon that much. He said, I can't stand him. He said, I pulled for number 3, Earnhardt. He said, but that's where I win my money. Come out the hat, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, I know where the money is. He said, oh, well, I can't stand him, but I'm going to bet and win money.
My youngest Paul was working with Buster's daughter over at Starbucks, told me, he said, Dad, I quit my job. And my heart sank a little bit, and it's like, oh God, you know, either somebody's pregnant or he's running off and getting married. But he said, I got another job. And he said, they're going to pay me 25% more than I'm making. They guarantee me 10 hours overtime a week, and they're going to send me to school to learn to use computers and how to use inventory equipment. And so he goes, $8 an hour just wasn't getting it.
Where's that? Tell him to tell Chelsea about it.
I'm going to pass around a will call sign up for pig stock. The tickets took off 2 days ago. So I want to make sure everybody here, if you think you might go, please put your name on here. You're not obligated to go, but you get the pre-purchase price if you show up. Like I said, we tripled ticket sales in 2 days. The weather is going to be perfect. It's a good day to come out and drink some beer and have some barbecue. So you guys can sit it around the room. Thank you for coming. I don't even know how many numbers or anything, just you might be there.
This is a quasi-happy dollar. Several weeks ago, I had a happy dollar where my daughter was accepted to Duke's nursing school. Now she's been accepted to the University of South Carolina nursing school. So I'm very happy about that, but I'm not sure I'm happy about sending my money to Duke or sending my money to the University of South Carolina. South Carolina's west.
I was going to say, well, yeah, do the math.
I'm not even going to ask for change. I'll have $5. I'm very pleased to say that Michael has agreed to be treasurer next year, and that's worth $5.
Well, Grandpappy always said, people are always comparing the United States to the ancient Roman government. Grandpappy said, the difference is the ancient Roman government closed down 560 years ago, and they still allowed tourists to go to their monuments.
Pretty good. Steve Brannon has a quick announcement related to the fundraiser.
So sign-ups have been going pretty good. How many have actually gone on to the Sign-Up Genius and used it yet? How many found it extremely difficult? All right. Bobby's an exception. It's very, very simple. So we've got the email already sent out. It literally takes, like Kelly, I think, sent out an email. It takes about 20 seconds once you just go on there, click the button that you want, and put your name and email in there, and that's like it. It's so simple. Today we're making it even easier. I do have the printouts. There's some slots that are still available. We've done pretty well, but there's definitely still some opportunity. And on top of that, Bobby actually brought his iPad. I can log in, and we can actually just put you in right onto the site right now. So see me afterwards. I'll be around for a few minutes. We need to get these slots filled up. Also, I know I've gone to Airport Club, and Jim said that he went to a couple other clubs. If you're on the list to go into a club, we need you to get those done no later than next week, so that they have time to make preparations and be able to buy their tickets and know about it so that they can make plans and come. So again, please see me afterwards. I'll go ahead and pass this around now, and you can put your name on there, or see me right afterwards on the iPad, and we'll get you in there today. That's it. Thanks for everybody that has signed up, though. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Dennis Marcotte has a special presentation.
Yes, Tony Rollins, please step forward.
was coming to a Rotary meeting and not any other meeting because I got help out there right away. I'm still a little shocked, but I'm fine.
Want some coffee or something? Would you like some coffee or something? Sugar and cream.
And everybody helped me.
Would you like some Bloody Mary?
The other driver has an injured back, and just kidding. And then I was just coming across the street from the bank. So.
Well, we're glad you made it, Dale.
I am too. If I'd been going any faster, it wouldn't have been good. I was going about 20, maybe, to get across the street from the Wells Fargo Bank. And I don't know where she came from. I don't know where. I did not see her at all.
We're glad you made it.
Yeah, Ross was there and had peace of mind to call, and something had caught fire coming out of the car, some kind of fluid, and it was not good, and there was a truck driver there, and Ross had him bring over a fire extinguisher, and we put that out, and I was very busy trying to get that lady out of her car because I didn't want something awful to happen there. And I was fine and just shook up.
Scared the hell out of you.
Well, I just thank God Ross was there. I didn't have, and the police got there in about 2 minutes. They were fast. And then the fire trucks were there. Of course, they didn't have to put out a fire, thank God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, today we have the rite of passage for Tony Rollins. She now gets her blue badge. Well, I don't understand why it's blue, because it's white, but that's what we call it. It has a blue back there. There you go. Congratulations.
You recall, there's a whole series of steps, those of you that are new, things you got to do, and there's some hazing and initiation behind the scenes. She passed all the tests. Congratulations. Okay, at this point, I'll turn it over to Mike Conrad, who is District Foundation Chair. This November, starting tomorrow, is Foundation Month, so we've got some great recognition.
Right. Good morning. It's really an honor and a privilege for me this morning to present some Paul Harris Fellows to some of our club members. And I want to kind of take off a little bit on what Ross said today, his Rotary moment, and tell you a little bit about, we're 1.2 million Rotarians, but the commonality of what we do and doing good in the world is exemplified as part of the Rotary Foundation. And some things that I've read recently, we have our own foundation, but the Rotary Foundation is our foundation. And it is very unique that we address the needs throughout the world, and we also address them here in our own community, as we know, in terms of what our own club does. And it is said that the Rotary Foundation has a world reach greater than the United Nations. And in addition, we can go where politicians and religious groups cannot go. So that makes this Rotary and the Rotary Foundation a very unique organization and foundation. So today we are going to recognize 8 new Paul Harris Fellows for our club. 8. And I'm going to call your names. In addition, we're going to also recognize 3 who are now +1s. It's their second Paul Harris Fellow. So this is truly a banner day for Gate City and for the Rotary Foundation. And it's, as y'all all know, or most of you know, we are a 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club. Now, we are one of 51 in this district. There's 51 clubs, and we were the very first Paul Harris Fellow district in the Rotary world. And there's 530 plus districts, and we're one of a handful of clubs that is 100% Paul Harris Fellow clubs. And there is 33,000+ clubs in the United States. So you see the distinction of the Gate City Rotary Club. So thank all of you for what you do for the foundation, and I'm going to call on Bobby as well as Beth, who is our foundation chair, to help with this presentation. So when I call your name, if you'd come forward, we got Tony Rollins, Tom Richardson, John Nosek, Vic Nussbaum, Mike Cook, David Crabtree, Beth Sheffield, Michael Yarborough, and then the plus ones are Jonathan Smith, Dale Meltzer, and Mike Allen.
Like an assembly line.
This is fun. Okay, today we honor you by presenting you with your Paul Harris Fellow in recognition of your monetary contribution to our foundation and our foundation's goal of advancing international understanding, goodwill, and peace. The Paul Harris Fellowship is named for Paul Harris, who founded with 3 business associates Rotary in Chicago in 1905. The fellowship was established in his honor in 1957 to express appreciation for $1,000 contribution to the annual fund of our Rotary Foundation. These funds are used by Rotarians as a special tool for international service and works across international borders to build a better, more peaceful world. Your contribution, along with the contributions of your fellow Gate City Rotarians and Rotarians around the world, support such notable programs as Polio Plus, which, as you know, is a signature initiative of Rotary to eradicate polio from the face of the earth, global grants, which could be in such areas as water and sanitation, disease prevention, basic education and literacy, and maternal and child health. Peace Scholars, disaster relief, which was spoken about earlier today, and district grants, as well as the district cultural scholarship. And I know we participate in the district grants, and I think it's important to note that the dollars that we give to the Rotary Foundation, 50% of those come back to us 3 years hence, and we're able to use them for district grants, for such things as the Children of Vietnam. We also work with the other 7 clubs with several projects like Big Sweep, Shadow Day, the Youth Leadership Program that is a signature project of the Greensboro Club. Those dollars that come back to us are used for those projects. So I want you to make that linkage between giving to the Rotary Foundation and dollars that come back to us for utilization here in our district. And the other 50% goes to global grants for all the things that we do or Rotary does around the world. So it really gives me such a great pleasure and honor today to present all of you on behalf of the trustees of the Rotary Foundation the 2 emblems of a Paul Harris Fellow, and that's especially for the new Paul Harris Fellows. It's the certificate and a lapel pin. And the certificate states, in appreciation of tangible and significant assistance given for the furtherance of better understanding and friendly relations between peoples of the world. So please join me in congratulating our newest Paul Harris Fellows and our +1 Paul Harris Fellows.
Did you see Mike Cook up there? He was like holding some sort of pose. He looked like Captain Morgan or something.
And we have a little special presentation as well.
May I say something about the Rotary dinner first?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, we have a special presentation. Actually, we've got two. But wanted to mention that November 7th is the Rotary Foundation dinner. And as Rotarians are known for, we all wait to the last minute to sign up. And Mike Conrad's assured us that it's still not too late to sign up. It is going to be at the High Point Country Club. And I had the opportunity to go to the Peace Scholar weekend at UNC Chapel Hill last spring. And one of the Peace Scholars is going to speak. And it's an inspiring look at what Rotary funds that we raise right here are doing around the world. And it's just, it will lift your spirits and be a wonderful fellowship with your fellow District Rotarians. So if you have not signed up, and I know that you were looking, Jack, for a carpool ride. And we carpooled last year, and it was a lot of fun, and we've done that in years past. All met either here at Friendly Shopping Center or met somewhere and headed to High Point together, and so it's a good fellowship. And I think if you're in the car for more than 15 minutes and there are 3 of you in the car, you can also count it as a makeup too. So, yes. So we have a very special award before we get to another special award. Mike Conrad has a pin as well. I want you all to stand and give him a standing ovation for all of his hard work with the Rotary Foundation, and he is now at the eighth, dyslexia, there you go. Yes, the 8th Paul Harris Fellow.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Now for something that I think a lot of us in this room have been wanting to do for a long time. And as part of the Paul Harris Fellows, you can present one to a non-Rotarian. We do that often. I made my wife, I've made my son and his wife and my grandson Paul Harris Fellows. And today we have a special person that we want to recognize with a Paul Harris Fellow. And it's Nisi Edwards. And if you think about this young woman and what she has meant to us over the years, you come in on Thursday, she gets up early, she comes in here with a smiling face. And if you're lucky, and I'm one of those lucky ones that she'll give a hug to, she is just, a bright spot on Thursday for all of us. So for your dedicated service to our club, we want to present you with a Paul Harris Fellow. And just think, that $1,000 can go for helping train teachers, clean water for those that don't have water throughout the world, for child care for children. So you are special to us, and we want to recognize that today with making you a Paul Harris Fellow.
Thank y'all so much. This is not a club for me, this is family. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much this means to me. Thank you.
You deserve it.
All right. Well, now, our own Jack Reynolds is going to give us an update on his great work in Haiti. And actually what?
Well, I'll put a coat on here to be professional.
All right, but I will turn it over to Jack.
I was invited to give, to kind of resurrect something that Rotary clubs do around the country. And we all know about the new member talk. So Emily called me up and asked if I'd give an old member talk. I didn't take it personally, although I think, never mind. Well, Tom, I was looking at you. So I'm going to talk a little about the old member, why, how I got to Rotary and what it means to me, as well as, you know, it's always the fear of a presenter to stand up here and not have this stuff work. Okay.
There it is.
Okay, there's some lights. But this is a projector that I brought as a backup because the one that we had for some reason didn't work. So I need that. It's not quite as bright. You know, we're having our fundraiser the end of November. And for those of you new members, you see on there Free the Kids as one of the beneficiaries of the selling of the tickets and the concert and all the hard work that we put into it. Well, Free the Kids is an orphanage project in Haiti that I started with my brother-in-law in 1999. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you about my involvement with Rotary. And this will be probably hard to believe, but I can prove it. I joined Rotary when I was 9, in 1953. And I'll show you how. It was my Little League team.
They hadn't added the Y back then?
I wasn't big enough to fill out the shirt. And Rotary was in our family in more than just Little League. My dad was a district governor in 1949 in a district back then that was covered New Jersey, Eastern Pennsylvania, and Delaware. And he was presented that year with a Paul Harris Fellow, which I remember very well. I don't know how to make this thing clearer. But I was brought up in Haddonfield, New Jersey. Left there when I was 17 years old, but where did I go? I came to Greensboro. And I went to Guilford College in 1961, and believe it or not, got out in 4 years, 1965. There you go. Okay. And 2 weeks after graduation, I was at OCS in Pensacola, Florida for naval aviation. And I was assigned to become a naval intelligence officer because I went to Guilford. I don't know. But they sent me to, after I got my commission, I was assigned to Lowry Air Force Base in Denver for the Armed Forces Intelligence Training Center. The Armed Forces all got together because each branch didn't have its own training program. So I spent a year in Denver and then was reassigned to Norfolk, where I became studied anti-submarine warfare. A picture in the upper right is a young lieutenant briefing an admiral on the tactics of anti-submarine warfare. And you can't see it, the plane right there is called a P-2V, a Neptune, which we would go out on 12-hour patrols, specifically looking for the Soviet submarine force, which was building up at that time. And I was assigned to be on the lookout for submarines, and I was based in Sicily. And subs would come through the Black Sea, the Bosphorus, and the Dardanelles, and as soon as we would get indication that they were coming, and once we found one, we had to fly on it constantly, dropping sonobuoys and tracking it. It was a very, very interesting 5 years. As soon as when I left the Navy in 1970, I went with U.S. Steel Corporation, and I had sales training and then sales positions
First sales job was Syracuse, New York. 2 years later, Philadelphia. 2 years after that, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Then was assigned to one of our steel mills at Fairless Hills, where we made sheet steel for automotive and appliances. And then I was made manager of Northeast Region in New York and lived in Ridgewood, New Jersey. All that time, I was a member of Rotary. My first, aside from Little League, I joined Rotary in 1974 in Camden, New Jersey, and then Allentown, Pennsylvania, Yardley, Pennsylvania, then Ridgewood, New Jersey, which was a noon club. But in 1987, a group of us formed a breakfast club, and I was the charter secretary to the Ridgewood AM Rotary Club, where I was a member for 22 years. Moved down here in 2004 and went and joined Gate City and been a member here since 2004. In 1999, my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, they grew up in Maine. They grew up speaking French. My wife didn't speak English till she was 10 years old. Same with her brother. He, at the age of 32, decided to go into the priesthood. And he went to seminary and became ordained and was assigned to Maine Maritime Academy in Castine, Maine. Some of the professors up there were retired naval officers and said to Mark, you'd be a great Navy chaplain. And he thought about that and went to Newport and got his commission as a Navy chaplain and was immediately assigned after his commission to Desert Storm, Desert Shield in Kuwait as a Marine. After that, he had several duties. One of them was Jacksonville, Florida in the early 90s. And the Haitians at that time were trying to get to America by the boatloads. They called them the boat people, and the Coast Guard and Navy rounded up 10,000 Haitians and put them down in Guantanamo for repatriation back to Haiti. Well, they did a data search, who speaks that language, French, and Mark's name came up, so they assigned him to go work with the Haitian people down at Gitmo. He heard their stories and was really intrigued and fascinated by what they were saying about how life in Haiti is. So he took 2 weeks leave and went down there and found out for himself and got a calling from God to go work with the Haitian people. So after he finished out his Navy tour, he struck out for Haiti, and that was 1998, by himself. And ended up, a lot of mission work was already being done in Port-au-Prince. So he went out to the, let's see if I got here. Look, he went out, come on. Where? Port-au-Prince is the capital in the center part of Haiti, and it's the only port of entry. You can only get to Haiti through Port-au-Prince. Out here in Lake Cay, he found abundant number of children on the street, orphaned, abused, abandoned, just urchins, and felt that he was being called to go work with those children. So he spent 7 months with starting out with about 12 kids and a couple of teenagers to help him, but he didn't have any financial support. He thought his money would carry him a long way, but it didn't at all. Came up to see me in New Jersey, and I said, what do you want, Mark? He said, I need help. I said, well, you know, I know what you're doing down there. It's great stuff. How can I help? And he's a priest. He doesn't have economic training. He doesn't have construction training. He's a spiritual man. He said, well, you know how to make money. I said, well, so does the government. I can't print it. Anyway, I said, look, I'll come down to Haiti and see what you're doing. And in May of 1999, I went down there and went out to Lake Cay and was touched the same way he was with what the situation of the children is there. I came back, the first place I went was my Rotary Club. And Rotary clubs many Rotary clubs take their fundraising and divide it 3 ways: a third local, a third national, and a third international. The club that we had didn't have any international projects, so they grasped and seized Free the Kids. A year later, I took 20 of our Rotarians down, and it changed their lives too. And even to that day, that club is a big contributor to our project. Second place I went was my church. We're an ecumenical organization. I went to the Presbyterian church up there and got their outreach committee, and they got very, very excited too. And to this day, a group from that church goes down every year. Coming to Greensboro, same thing, Rotary Club, and this club has been very supportive of Free the Kids through our fundraising efforts, as well as Summit Rotary and Airport Rotary have also been contributors to us. Father Mark has dedicated his life to Haiti. He lives there full time. It took him a year to learn Creole. He wasn't accepted by the citizenry of Haiti until he learned Creole, because French is the language of the elite. When President Aristide came in about 12, 15 years ago, he made Creole as well as French the official language of Haiti. The children grow up speaking Creole. They start taking French at about 6th grade, and English not until they're into high school. Our mission, I'm always asked, I'd like to adopt one of the children. Well, today we have 450 children, so our children are not up and never have been up for adoption. It's not our mission. Our mission is to raise these children in their own society with the background and the education and the nourishment to make them graduate from school. They value education and perhaps become future leaders of Haiti. I've been going, well, since 1999. My next trip will be my 51st. As I said, Rotary clubs around the country through, and it's very pertinent that we're talking today about the Rotary Foundation, because over the years we've done 5 matching grants with the Rotary Foundation, and now as things have evolved, we're doing district simplified grants with the money that comes back to us after 3 years. We've gotten grants for pure water project. It's well water. The wells are contaminated. They got to go down about 140 feet to get through the contaminated water. But the Haitians dig wells the old-fashioned way by hand, and without the training, without the skills, as they dig by hand, what they're doing is contaminating the pure water when they get down to that 140 feet. Anyway, through a Rotary project, we were able to give training on how to dig the wells in a better way so that they don't get contaminated. Here's our president of our club with Father Mark and myself and another member standing around one of the wells that we had done. We've also had a feeding program. Many of the kids come to us in a very malnourished condition. Fat bellies, reddish hair, all the symptoms of malnourishment. And so we put them on a high protein diet, and within 6 to 8 weeks, they're showing the benefits of that high nutritious diet. But the damage has already been done from the time they were babies, so their growth is stunted, their capacity to learn is stunted. In Haiti, we're often asked, how do people graduate from your program? You know, everything's delayed. A 25-year-old is about the same as an 18-year-old here. So we have young men who are in their 20s still under our care. We try to provide a better quality of life. We have dormitory type rooms, and in each dorm is a house mother. I'm talking about the little kids. There are 17 to 20 kids in a room, and the house mother is responsible. She's a paid employee, about $1.50 a day. Her job is to get the kids up in the morning and get them ready for school, and then takes the laundry over to the washerwomen. Electricity is rare. We had to build our own grid, pay the Haitian electric company to put the poles up 3 miles down our road. We did a fundraiser for that. But even with the electricity provided, it's sporadic. EDH, Electronic Department of Haiti, turns off the electricity with no warning, and so We have generators, but they're so darned expensive to run with diesel fuel, we try and conserve on that. The point being, the washer people do it the old-fashioned way, with a rock and a board. So,
Amateur.
so we have about 20 washerwomen who work 15 hours a day just doing the kids' laundry, take it back to their house mother, and the whole process starts the next day. Our school system, we have grades. We started with kindergarten and preschool, and as the kids got older, now we're all the way up through high school. We have many of our children come to us at a later age, 8, 9, 10 years old, and they don't want to start in kindergarten. So we give them reading, writing, and basic arithmetic, but we really started a vocational training school, carpentry, masonry, and that provides the skills. They're excellent tradespeople when they come out. Now move along. I've already mentioned the child care. Right now we have between 450 and 500 children residing at the property. After the earthquake in Haiti in January of 2010, where 300,000 people were killed in about 2 minutes, the government knows about us and works with us, but they sent out another 300 kids from Port-au-Prince. So all of a sudden we had this influx of children, and we were up to about 800. Since then, we've reintroduced them, we vetted, found out where their extended families are, because our object is not to provide cradle-to-grave care for children. So if they have an extended family, we tried to find out, and we've put them back into their homes. But aside from the 500 children that live in our area, we're not parochial. We look all over the region, and we serve the whole region. So we serve about another 150 or 200 families outside our gates with food, clothing, medicine. I talked about the housing. We started out as a boys project, and there's a reason for that. You can look up Google the word Restovec, R-E-S-T-A-V-E-K. Restovec is a child who was given up as a servant to a family of a little higher means. Now, I'm not talking about the rich families, just a little higher means, with the hope that that family will feed the child, send them to school, and treat them. It's not the way it works. Restovec means rester avec, to go live with, and they're typically treated as servants. About a third of our children have run away from that situation. Anyway, boys, but the girls needed a place, so we didn't have girls on the property until about 3 or 4 years ago. So they were intermingled with the young boys, and it was not a good, healthy situation, so we embarked upon, we have 140 acres, we embarked upon taking a section of our land and building housing for girls. And there's an organization called Domes for the World. They look like igloos, but they're very, in a hot country, the airflow is good, and the girls are thrilled to be starting to move into these domes. We have about 40 girls, with a capacity of taking perhaps another 60. Went the wrong way. Said about the malnourishment, we have a huge kitchen feeding program which Rotary has helped establish. You establish these programs, and I'm implored to say we've got to sustain it. People become reliant. We serve about 3,000 meals a day, not only to our children, but to the neighborhood. And when I say meals, I'm talking about big pots of what I call porridge. It's rice and beans, and it's very high protein to ward off that malnourishment. We have a brand new kitchen dining complex. It's the biggest building on the property. And so the kids don't have to eat in shifts anymore. They can come in at one time and all sit together. Okay, I gotta move on here. We have a brand new clinic, and somewhere in there, Rob, bear with me, here it is. We had a grand opening of the clinic last year, and the clinic was funded for the most part by Susan Midget, Rob's wife. She raised $250,000 to build the clinic and staff it and get equipment. So Rob and Susan and Jameson and Mary Catherine came down to the grand opening last year. And this is Mary Catherine and Jameson and Dr. Cynthia, our medical director, cutting the ribbon. So it's a very first-class facility. We have a digital X-ray machine. It's the only one in the southern part of Haiti. We can take X-rays, email them to doctors in the country, and they can analyze it and feed back what's corrective action. I'm going to talk about the school, the vocation. We have 2 schools away from our property that we founded way out in the hinterlands. One of them's 45 miles away, the other's 20 miles away in Tiburon and Camparin. An admin center. Of course, here comes we can't do this alone. We need the help of Rotary clubs and individuals. There's some brochures on that back table if you'd like to take one on your way out. About 60% of our funding comes from individual donations, and about 20 to 30% from organizations such as Rotary and churches. The rest come from grant writing, but we have not been very successful in that. So you can help. We have a Sponsor a Child program. It's $30 a month to supply one of education, health, medical, clothing, and shelter. There are 5 avenues, $150, 30 times 5, takes care of a child for 1 month. But we, $30 to name one of those areas. So I'm going to stop it there. We're out of time. So I thank you for paying attention and listening. And now you know what your fundraising efforts do to support an international organization. Thank you. Bertin has visited us a couple of times. His wife, Onique, she's Haitian. Bertin's from Liberia?
No,
Zaire. And, but his wife is Haitian, and her family's from Lake High. So when I go down, I take gifts from Onique down to her family. The other thing is, draw more than one number. I've got some things to give away.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any time for questions? Or Jack, I'm sure we'll hang. Are we there? We're there already. All right, Jack, on behalf of Gate City Rotary, here is an IOU. Ross knows a check for $1,500 from the Gate City Rotary Foundation.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. Very, very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we'll draw these winning tickets here.
The first one is for a machete. It's the weapon of choice. These are crafted by our art department. We've got a really fine, skilled art department. So this one goes to number 821. 821, going once. Dennis. Show it around, Dennis. The next number is for a bag tag made by a Rotary Club as a fundraiser. As a fundraiser for our project, a Rotary Club in Bethel, Maine made these bag tags and sold them as a fundraiser. And it really makes your bag identified. The number is 823. Come on, 823. They left. Next. A nice wooden pencil holder or beer mug, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't drink beer out of it, Frank. 809. Buster. Okay. I got a lot more gifts in that bag. We've run out of time. So
you got to draw one for the Queen of Hearts.
Oh, that's right.
Forget about it.
Okay. 804. Buster again.
Buster in. No, I'm 804.
Okay. All right. Don't forget the cart fund on your table. Have a great day.